Let us now in this moment close our eyes and co-create a sacred space, like a room or a nest. In this space, there are no boundaries, yet we feel safe and held. Were there something to puncture the calm by one of us, or from beyond this energetic, what would you do? Would you react or respond? Our gathering provides us ongoing opportunity to take responsibility, to respond by addressing the things we find intolerable. So rather than reacting with an emotional charge that may incite a battle or hostility, we respond. Just as emergency responders prepare and come to the aid of others in distress, so do we. Rather than reacting, they are responding to what is needed. Let us view all that we do as just that, a response to injustice. We know there are things we cannot do, certainly not alone, but as an assembly of people, we are grateful for our unity and ability to respond, to see and feel that what may seem to be personal issues are issues we can address for the greater whole. We feel gratitude in our responsibility, and we are grateful to know that we are doing all this with the guidance of our Creator of all that is. In the name of Yahweh, Jesus, let it be so.
Amen. Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I have a short one that I'd like to read to you folks. Make sure I don't make any mistakes. The title is The United States of Washington District of Columbia is being operated by an industrial, military, executive, legislative, judicial, administrative, banker, Federal Reserve note, bar, Nazi, Jesuit, Khazarian, Muslim, Communist, United Nations, Big Pharma, medical, de facto color of law, RICO society that should not be. So we took them out on Oregon, November 2022. Now I'd like to read some supporting evidence for the claims I just made. When Dwight David Eisenhower, a 5-star general from the United States Army and the 34th President of the United States, declared, "Beware of the industrial military complex," when leaving office to JFK, who was later assassinated by those entities, which allegedly include the CIA and the Federal Reserve. Now the current high-tech billionaires have weighed in. This takes care of the first two with the predominance of evidence, and there is no prosecutors. The executive, legislative, and judiciary, incontrovertible evidence in one thing only, and there's a ton: Obamacare. 44 signed it and was recorded saying that it was unconstitutional. And it was passed by the legislature and held up by the judiciary. Many others, such as multiple Second Amendment violations by all three. Bush 43's election and Biden's election. So that takes care of executive, legislative, and judiciary. In addition, the judiciary was determined to be administrative and not constitutionally judicial. No charge or prosecution. Banker. The Federal Reserve banking system is a de facto and a result of criminal activity of the United States of Washington District of Columbia, Inc. The bar, or the British Accreditation Registry, or similar name, the State Bar, a de facto, quasi-pseudo, unconstitutional dispenser of unfettered advice of counsel, not with the 12 presumptions of law at www.orsja.org. We did a show on the 12 presumptions in law. It's worth the watch. Nazi. See Operation Paperclip, where thousands of former World War II Nazis were imported and given high places, such as Werner von Braun in the NASA program. Notice all the second and third generation names of German descent currently in the US DOJ, the FBI, and the CIA from Paperclip. Jesuit is prominent among those accused but never prosecuted. There is a preponderance of evidence available. You can look it up. Khazarian, aka the Yiddish-speaking people of the Torah currently in Ukraine, said to have been a blanket conversion to Judaism of about 20 million persons. That believe and publish for all to see that Goy, that's me and you, are as slaves for their exploitation. That's Khazarian. Any Muslim on our land or elected, see the McCarran-Walters Act. 44, you know who 44 was, brought in Muslims by the plane load. Congress accepts them. The judiciary does not repudiate. They advocate the overthrow of our constitutional Republican form of government. See Article 4, Section 4, and the Marine Corps' hymn. Communism is a direct threat, the same as Islam. McCarran-Walters Act, 1952. The United Nations Agenda 21 and 2030. A participated and approved by the executive, legislative, and judicial, and the state and county incorporated governance entities. You can look it up. Big Pharma, another industrial enemy manufacturing COVID-19 vaccines with the explicit approval of Donald John Trump and the executive, military, legislative, and judiciary and the state governance entities. They're killing us. Medical. The hospitals, doctors, CDC, WHO, state medical boards all back the bogus vax and are aided and abetted by all those listed above. They're killing us. We must remedy this ourselves. No one can do it for us. and we cannot do it alone. And I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, "Just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me." And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.